Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. You're about to learn everything you need to know about checking property liens in Kitsap County online, right from the comfort of your home. Stay tuned to uncover insider secrets, expert tips, and powerful online tools that make this process a breeze for beginners and pros alike. Let's dive in and empower you with knowledge that lasts a lifetime.
We've got plenty of ground to cover today. We'll start with the hidden lien threat, move into your online search toolkit, and then walk through a step-by-step lien verification. After that, we'll look at some third-party search alternatives, go over pro tips and pitfalls, and wrap up with next steps and resolutions.
Section 1. The hidden lien threat. Let's start with exactly why this investigation is absolutely crucial for your financial safety, especially when you're dealing with real estate in Kitsap County. Imagine this. You buy a beautiful home, you get the keys, and then you discover you've just inherited someone else's massive debt. It is literally a home buyer's worst nightmare, and it happens when a property title is improperly cleared. You see, if a property has an active lien, that debt is actually attached to the real estate itself, not just the person who originally owed the money. This can totally restrict your ownership rights and wreck your ability to sell or refinance down the line. Now, it's really important to understand the different types of liens you might bump into. A voluntary lien is pretty standard. It's something the owner agreed to, like signing a mortgage to buy the house. But an involuntary lien? That's placed against the property without the owner's consent because of unpaid bills. We're talking statutory tax liens, a mechanic's lien from an unpaid contractor, or maybe even a child support judgment from the Department of Social and Health Services. So here's the big takeaway. A single search database just cannot give you complete security because all these different liens are recorded by totally different public entities depending on where they originated.
Section 2. Your online search toolkit.
Since local government doesn't have a magical one-stop shop button, your tool belt is actually made up of 3 distinct municipal and state systems. You have to master all 3 to get the full story. First, there's the assessor. That's for your tax status, property values, and getting your hands on crucial parcel numbers. Second is the auditor, who uses a portal called EagleWeb. You'll use that for recorded deeds and land liens. And third, the Superior Court Clerk, which is where you hunt down monetary civil judgments.
Section 3. Step-by-step lien verification.
Okay, let's put this into practice. Our verification protocol breaks down into 3 very distinct phases. Imagine we're investigating a totally fictitious property at 123 Pine Street for a potential buyer. You can't just skip ahead here. You have to gather your foundational clues first. For 123 Pine Street, your very first vital clue is the exact 14-digit tax parcel number. You absolutely must retrieve this from the assessor's parcel details platform before doing anything else. And in this first step, you aren't just grabbing a number. You're verifying the taxpayer of record and checking the 6-year property tax billing history. You want to be 100% sure there are no pending tax foreclosures because property tax liens are senior to almost everything else out there.
Once you've got that metadata for our Pine Street property, you move to step 2. You log in as a public guest on the auditor's EagleWeb portal. Now pay super close attention here because formatting is literally everything. If you paste that 14-digit number with dashes or spaces, the system will just break. It'll show 0 results, giving you a completely false sense of security. You have to enter it strictly as a continuous string of numbers. No dashes, no spaces. While you're in EagleWeb searching our fictitious owner's name, let's clear up some legal jargon that trips people up all the time. To find active liens, you absolutely must check both the grantor and grantee indexes. Think of it like this. If a property owner takes out a mortgage, they are the grantor giving that voluntary lien to a bank. But when they pay off that debt, they flip and become the grantee receiving the lien release. So if you find a lien in the grantor index, you have to go search the grantee index to see if a satisfaction or release of that lien has actually been recorded.
And finally, for step 3, you can't forget the courts. To make sure our Pine Street seller doesn't have some civil money judgment that automatically attached itself to the property, you have to leave the auditor's site completely. You want to search the Washington State Digital Archives for historical files. Or, if you're a high-volume professional, you can use the subscription-based Odyssey portal to check the Superior Court dockets directly.
Section 4. Third-party search alternatives.
Now, bouncing between 3 different government websites can get incredibly tedious. If you're just looking up one single house, the free county tools are totally fine. But for high-volume investors, real estate agents, or insurance pros, third-party tools like PropertyScout.io or HomeInfoMax are huge time savers. Yes, they require a fee, but they aggregate all those deeds and voluntary liens and valuations into single comprehensive reports. They basically do the heavy lifting of combining the assessor's data with the auditor's documents all in one clean interface.
Section 5. Pro Tips and Pitfalls. Let's talk about a common beginner mistake that could cause you to miss a devastating lien, even if you did all the steps right. The Kitsap auditor system is highly specific when you search by name. You must enter the last name first with absolutely no comma. But here's the biggest trap of all. For multi-part last names, spaces must be omitted entirely. If you're searching for someone named MacDonald and you type Mac space Donald, you might pull up a completely blank search result. You have to type it as one single word, MacDonald. Literally one single space could blind you to reality and cost you thousands.
Section 6. Next steps and resolutions.
So what actually happens if your detective work uncovers a lien? Well, finding one isn't always an automatic deal breaker, but it is a massive red flag that you have to resolve. First, verify if the debt is still current. Sometimes a lien is paid off, but the release paperwork just never got filed. Next, make absolutely sure the property taxes are up to date. And most importantly, all of these issues must be negotiated and paid off prior to closing. Having a clear title is non-negotiable.
Quick pause here for a very important reminder. Real estate law is incredibly complex, and the financial stakes are, frankly, huge. So please always remember to consult with a licensed attorney or a qualified title officer for any specific legal issues related to property liens. The information in this explainer is strictly to empower and educate you. It's not legal counsel.
Armed with this insider knowledge and your exact toolkit, you are now totally empowered to protect your investments and dig up the truth behind any Kitsap County property. Whether you are buying your very first home or scaling up a massive investment portfolio, you know exactly where to look and what traps to avoid. So, what costly secret will you uncover first? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy hunting!